Okay. So today is March 4th, 2009, and I'm in Huehuecoytl, and I'm together with Huehuecoyotl from Italy.
That's right.
And so what have we got here?
So this is my dry toilet, and we have here two seats. This
Really smelly.
This seat is resting at the moment. Two chambers underneath.
Yeah.
So let me see if I can show you.
Okay.
Well, this has been resting too long.
Yeah.
There are some spider webs here.
Yeah.
And this is active. This is the one we're using at the moment.
Yeah.
So you can see the two chambers separate the urine from the feces. The feces then gets a covering of dirt. This is just soil. I've got dry, very dry soil. It should not be humid at all. So dry soil, and it gets a cup of this every time you deposit in there. And it also gets a little bit of water in the urinal every time, because that's where the smell comes from. Mostly is that ammonia smell that comes back from the urinal. So that takes care of a lot of the smell. And then there is an air vent. There are two chambers underneath, and we only use one at a time. Let the other one rest. This air vent is for both chambers, and that noise that you hear is a fan that I put on top of this tube. It should be on the bottom, and it probably wouldn't make so much noise if it was on the bottom. But the idea is to get the air out and to create like a suction effect, so that the smells and the humidity goes out, and it helps it dry faster and also keeps things a little bit more hygienic.
So you're saying what do you got here? There is a separate...
So that's the vent, and over here I have a separate male urinal so that men can just urinate without having to use the seat. And all the urine is collected in big jugs, 5-gallon jugs or so, and when they are half full, I then take them away, change the jug, and let it ferment for about a month. And at that time, I put the other half of the jug with water, and I can give it to the foot of plants for nitrogen fertilization.
Great. So this is the little compost dirt from the outside. And is this coffee you've got here?
This is our coffee plants, yes.
Wow.
They are ripe and ready to be picked.
Wow.
And dried and roasted.
And you were just telling over here that you were actually using your water from the washing machine, which is standing here, for irrigating this little...
So I have a washing machine there, and you know, normally with washing machines we just throw the water into a little dry well, what they call, or you can do other things like gray water systems and whatnot. But I wanted to design something very simple, very easy to use, and immediate benefit from the water. Of course, we always use biodegradable soaps. And
easily biodegradable soaps.
We can buy it here in Tepoztlan. So the water that comes out of the washing machine is basically pretty clean water.
And it's cold water, yeah?
And it's cold water.
Because you only use cold water for washing in this part of the world.
That's correct, we only use cold water.
We use an awful lot of hot water, you know.
Yeah, well, part of the reason is to save energy, and also because really I haven't noticed a big difference in using cold or hot water, really. So my idea is to take the water, to use the pump that the machine has built in, and then irrigate my little garden. This is just our kitchen garden where we have some lettuce and tomatoes and peppers and onions and kale and different herbs, blackberries. And so the water comes out, and I am able with the pump to simply irrigate my little garden and get all my plants wet and keep this pretty humid. As long as I do laundry a couple of times
But this is because you're not living here so much. So because before you told me that you had a little outlet over there somewhere.
Yeah, that's right.
And that you would actually do sort of drip irrigation with the water as well, yeah?
So originally I had the washing machine water coming out, and I had 3-inch pipes running along the top of the bed with holes under them. And so the pipes would drip irrigate the whole bed, both beds. That was working pretty good, but I like this system better. Except for this system, it takes more labor. You have to be involved. With the other system, I didn't have to do anything. The machine would just dump the water out naturally.
Fantastic. So this is a way that you can obviously save a hell lot of water for irrigation, for example.
Absolutely.
And especially this is a dry zone, so
this is very dry. This time of year we don't get rain for about 8 months, so we do depend a lot on conservation of water, recycling water. Otherwise we would not be able to have these plants in front of our houses.
Even though we are in this fantastic landscape, which is mountains and it's very lush and green. But
a recycling system where it takes the gray waters that come out of the house, and actually this system I believe mixes both gray and black waters.
Okay.
So the water comes out and it collect all the heavy material is collected in the first little tank, and the overflow of that tank is fed into this channel that you see here, this canal, that has gravel. The red stones is just gravel. The water runs under that. There's a slight inclination so that the water runs down, and on top of it we can put plants and keep a garden that flowers during the right season and whatnot. And at the end of this chamber, once the water runs through, it comes out here relatively clean, or at least clean enough that we can use it to irrigate the gardens again. So this is another form of cleaning gray water here.
This house is Odin's house, or?
Yeah, well, this is a duplex. There are 2 houses here. The one closest to us is a traditional log home of Mexico, the Michoacan area of Mexico. And it's been added on to, but it started out as a log home. And then the other side is a new built small apartment.
From you again.
So here we have another system yet for cleaning gray water. And here, this house uses quite a bit of water because they have babies and they have washing machines and so on. And all the overflow gray water comes through, and again, like the one that we saw just before, the water runs through this canal, except for this one has different variety of plants. You can see coffee and these horsetail type of
kind of papyrus?
Papyrus, exactly. And elephant ears and all this other stuff. So this is a little richer type of mixture of plants.
And basically it's a pipe with holes that is this.
Yeah, in this case actually not even.
Okay.
The water comes out from the filter, from the container, and it runs underground. There is a canal with maybe plastic underneath or some way that the water can just run down, and then there's dirt on top of that, so that's where the plants are living.